got it. I did it. Even though he cheated me. Even though Miles cheated me. Give me a quicker countdown. I still got him shared. I won. That's like my competition every time we do this. It's like I get myself psyched up to see if I can share faster than the countdown. This is Sports Den on a Wednesday. Like in a weird place because there's a lot going on, but then there's kind of nothing going on. It's like there's a lot going on, but it's like not fun stuff to talk about. It's like I'm ready for the off season where we just can think of random crap, man. Like I'm honestly tired of talking about football.
It sucks when you stink. Or it's all speculation.
That's it right there. It's like you don't get paid to be reasonable. Like people don't want to hear reason. They want to hear like hot takes and they want to hear crazy takes. And then when there's a hot take or a crazy take, then, you know, half the people run with it and the other half of the people make fun of it. I'm just not that guy. Like, I mean, people ask me, I can't tell you how many times, what do you think of Billy Napier? I don't know. I have no idea.
Got to meet him first.
Right. Like,
gotta get to see what he does. Like what you have learned or what you should have learned from multiple coaching searches since we've been on.
Mm-hmm.
This is the third coach, right? Yeah. Because we were on Mac we didn't get a chance for Champ, right? I don't think we were on radio when Champ was.
So Treon was Mac.
Yes, because Mac took Treon to two
because they had
championships. Yeah, they had Greer,
and then he got suspended, and that's when
No, we just weren't on like that because I went to DC with Will Greer, and that was
Mac.
That was Mac.
That was Mac.
Okay,
yeah,
all right, yeah, but that's right because that's why Champ got fired, right? Because he wouldn't play.
I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Whatever. The point is you've seen multiple searches with that. Mm-hmm. We've seen a few down in Miami. We've seen the weird stuff. The best thing you could, like, I'm not saying be discouraged or don't be happy, excited. But like to make definitive, I don't know. That's all, like people are asking me all the time, like, what do you think about Mike Norvell? Mm-hmm. It's like, I like Mike. Do you think Mike Norvell is going to take us to the championship? I don't know. All I have is 8 games right now. I have no idea what's going to happen.
I like Mike personally.
I like Mike personally. I think is very good. I can see the draw. He's very energetic. I used to say, I think you'll grow into that, whatever. But like, and I played with Bobby. Bobby wasn't doing all that yelling and all that. Mm-hmm. He was very calculated, very Southern preacher. Mm-hmm. My position
like
coach,
Brian Kelly.
Yes. Actually, like imagine Brian Kelly with a real Southern accent, or oh god, that would be so. Like imagine that would have been great. Actually, like somebody takes the job right after. Well, Jimbo's fast country, so it was worse. Imagine Taggart, but then Taggart's country too.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a terrible one.
Imagine Brian Kelly taking the job at Florida State after Bobby.
Yeah.
And trying to mimic Bobby's mannerisms.
I don't know, man.
That would have been
after
hilarious.
Bobby or after Eddie O. Which one's?
But no, the Eddie O was
love like that.
Like, Cajun.
That's true. You can't. You can't fake that.
Like that's like if I go and like they'll know you're mocking them. Then
mm-hmm.
Everybody knows he was mocking too. But like it's different. Like it's only one person in the recorded U.S. history that we've seen sound like Eddie O, and that's the coach. The offensive line coach from Waterboy.
Yep.
He went from between Foghorn Leghorn,
mm-hmm.
Yosemite Sam, the dude from I can't think of the character's name because I've never seen Django Unchained. I've just seen clips.
Are you talking about Brian Kelly?
Yeah, like all the different
you're
voices that he went through in that one scene.
Prosecutor in A Time to Kill.
Okay. Yep. That was Matthew McConaughey, right?
No, the other dude.
Oh, the prosecutor. Yes.
Yeah, that's who. And he even kind of looks like him a little bit. But yeah, I mean, look. The reality is this: like, I don't know Billy Napier at all. I don't know any of these guys that he's hired thus far. None of them. He's still got a lot of staff. I'll give Billy Napier this. He was very honest in the press conference. I listened to most of it. I went back and listened to most of it just because I was curious. And well, you want to talk about a press conference that people chopped up to fit a narrative, both sides.
Mm-hmm.
They just left out the sentence before and the sentence after a lot. I mean, he said in the press conference that, look, y'all are going to get aggravated with me this class. Like, we're going to bring in who we want. And there's a certain part of me that's like, okay, I kind of respect that, because if you're going to go down, you're going to go down with your guys. But then there's another part of me that is like, like, you're letting some dudes go now. Like,
there's some cats.
I'm not talking about Evers.
No, I'm not talking about him either. I don't know. Quarterback is whatever, man. Like, I'm not suggesting that if you're good in high school that you could, but like a lot of that has to do with your level of competition and what you have surrounding you. And I don't know anything about Evers, but I know somebody who I might be in the minority. I'm not very high on the man, or was it Arch?
No, I'm not either.
One, he's playing little people, and then two, he's got studs at wide receivers playing little people.
He's good, but he's not
saying he can't make the throws. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, like, it's different when you got cats that are guarding your cats.
I'll take Malachi any day.
Yeah,
over Arch.
Now, when I'm looking at what you need, they were really addressing some needs at wide receiver with game breakers, with speed. Now, one guy get it. He's hurt a lot, but he's a 10-2 and a 100. Like, that's world class. That's almost world class speed. Like, you get him in the right program, he might be too fast for football. He might have to go to your track program, but your track coach will love you.
But he's worth the flyer.
He's worth the flyer. He's worth it. This other kid, Gibson, pipeline, where you're used to, and again, just a good receiver that a lot of people want. It's the opposite approach to what Cristobal is doing with Miami, but what we talked about on Monday's show, Cristobal already had ties to top high school guys. He was at a Power 5 school. So it's like, you don't change your board. But I will say, though it's interesting, I like his approach, I think, better than I like Mike's approach coming into Florida State.
Whose approach?
Billy Napier.
Okay.
Of course I like Cristobal, but Cristobal's approach is similar to what Tag's approach was. And that doesn't always work for you. Those players might fit at Oregon. They might not fit here, but I still would. I'm not that guy. I love 3 stars. I love 2 stars. I was a no star. But if you really believe you're going to win a championship with a team full of 3 stars, I need you to go back and watch the SEC championship game and just ask yourself, don't pick up Jordan Davis. Because actually, Jordan Davis was the only 3-star on that field, got exposed. But he's the exception to the rule. 3,000 3-stars every year, somebody's bound to pan out.
But tell me, look at the 2 3-stars that got exposed: Jordan Davis, Stetson Bennett.
Facts.
I mean, the rest of the cats out there were all 5 stars.
But I'll say this: like, Mike came in and immediately tried to recruit, kept some of the guys that were in the last that were with the last coach, didn't take time to evaluate,
but didn't have a choice. You had to keep them, right?
That's what we're going with.
Yeah, but
none of them are here now,
right?
So, like, it's kind of my critique on him about that. People like, oh, well, he signed 2 quarterbacks in his first year. Tag didn't. I say, well, Tag signed a grad transfer, 2 grad transfers consecutive years. What purpose or what good is it signing 2 high school quarterbacks if neither one of them are going to probably be on your roster in 2 years?
Right.
That means we've had 4 years, really 5, because Bailey Hockman's gone, where we haven't had. I mean, and James Blackman's not here, where you've had guys who high school quarterbacks just don't stay. There's no way to get better that way. But taking the approach where we're going to get bumped, I don't care about any of these guys. I'm going to bring in my guys, and what I don't get, I am going to at least go get some grown-ass men who've got a year of maturity added to them, because the transfer portal is ripe with guys.
Well, and that's the difference, right? Like, that's the difference even in 2 years ago and now.
Yeah, the transfer portal.
Transfer portal, you really can't. I was telling a parent this that called me about her son's a 2022 quarterback. And and I was telling her, I'm like, we're in an era where college football is unrecognizable when it comes to recruiting. Like, completely. You cannot compare this to anything that's ever happened. And I'm convinced that the majority of schools, by the way, are kind of learning this on the fly too. I think they have a plan, but how do you now imagine you're a staff who wasn't able to go on the road for 18 months because of COVID. Right. And now all of a sudden you've got all the evaluations that you should be doing for your 22s But then you've also got better players in the transfer portal that some of those you didn't get to see because some of those were early enrollees. Like there's so much evaluating now that there's going to be teams that hit it perfectly, almost out of sheer luck, and they're instantly going to come up. And then there's going to be other teams that just have terrible luck, and they're going to pay for this for the next 2 to 3 years because now those kids are in their program, right? So it's going to be interesting. Like I don't think Billy Napier is taking as big of a risk as people think, because I think there is talent at Florida right now, and I know there's talent in the portal. And one thing that Napier has going for him that most coaches don't have going for him is he's got a quarterback. Most guys that go into programs where the coach was fired they don't have a quarterback.
Right.
He's got one. So now he can be a little bit more choosy on what he wants to do with the quarterback position. And by the way, the transfer portal, the biggest change used to be if you signed a quarterback to the transfer portal, you were signing one that you thought could help you. Now there's so many in there you can sign for depth.
Right.
So now you can go get a transfer portal guy and you can actually tell him, hey, we got another year or two with this guy. You need to wait your turn. And they will, because there's just not enough programs to go around for the number of kids. So I'm going to hold out judgment on this, but I will say thus far, he's been very honest about what he's doing and why he's doing it. And it looks like he's doing it.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't particularly care for.
Watch out for your cup, by the way. Like right there on there you go.
The only thing I don't particularly care for, and it's really, it's part of the business, and I think that probably shouldn't have happened and it may not have happened it may happen differently than kind of what was reported, but like when you're in a flux situation and you do have a new guy coming in as admin, just go ahead and prep the kids and say, do what's best for you. But don't tell them like, oh, you're good. If you're committed, we're still looking for others, but if you're committed, you're okay. It's not
their place to do either.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the problem.
Like
don't do anything.
Yeah.
From what some parents are putting out that, hey, I was told we were going to be okay, and now we're not okay. Now we're dropping the note, and it's looking like, and you're getting the vitriol from the fans because you dropped the note. What happened to commitment? And I'm like, even common sense would tell, like, really, you think 10 guys or however, that's an example. But like, you think this many guys waited until today to say, I love the University of Florida, appreciate you, but like, I'm out. When these guys have been actively recruiting, like they're being pushed out.
Well, you don't necessarily, I'm going to speak for quarterback. You don't necessarily tell a kid we don't want you. What you tell the kid is, yeah, you're welcome to come here, but I'm also going to sign another one. Or I've, got my eyes on another guy. I mean, that's what Florida State did.
Right.
With Jeff. It's like, you can come, but I've got these guys that I'm recruiting that I'm going to, think I can get to Florida or think I can get to Florida State or whatever. And then the kid is going to go, well, wait, this isn't what I signed up for. It's not that he's not competitive or want to compete.
Right.
He knows he's not your guy.
Right. There's a plethora of reasons why kids decommit, but that's the only critique I have. But at the same time, if you're going to come in and you're expected to cook a gourmet meal, you got to put the groceries that you want to put out there. But, it's always a complicated scenario. That's why I just don't celebrate or ask that people rush into firing people, because there are other things that have to be taken into account and consideration. But more than likely, even Evers, but he might not, because like you were saying, it's just a limited amount of quarterback slots, and with the transfer portal like going crazy right now,
insane.
You don't know where you'll be at.
Another big crew of them going in this weekend too. By the way, let's get to ABC real quick, and then I want to get to transfer portal. And I want to get to Urban Meyer a little bit too.
Ooh,
yeah. ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Make sure you get there. It's the holidays. Get everything you need from ABC. They have water. You can go in there and get water and soda and orange juice and all that, all the mixers, all that kind of stuff. Reach for the good stuff. It's the best holiday of the year. It's the best time of the year. You don't want to be in there drinking the same stuff you're drinking on a normal day. Like, celebrate. Always be celebrating.
If you drink eggnog.
I don't.
I'm not saying you, but a lot of people are festive, and it's the only time of year. You don't drink eggnog or coquito for the people who said, like, not you, but it's the exact same thing.
Okay.
There are people like, oh, I'll never drink eggnog.
I've never tried
disgusting.
It seems flimmy.
Oh, coquito. Oh, like it's Spanish, but it's basically Spanish eggnog.
Okay.
But it is. I get you. Like,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. I only drink it because my grandmother drank it,
and
I only drank it because there's alcohol in it. If there wasn't alcohol in it, you'll be drinking sweet raw eggs, basically. But to me, it's more to it than that. But Crown Royal vanilla.
Oh,
trust me. Use that. It would change the game up for you. You'll love it.
But only if it's from ABC.
Only if it's from it, because their Crown Royal vanilla is way better.
Yeah, I heard the rest of them are actually like poisoned. The word on the street. I don't know that for sure, at least in Florida. I get to ABC. Transfer portal, like there's some weird things with Max Johnson.
That's a 2-for-1 deal right there.
Because brother?
Yeah, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, he's got the win against Florida, right? 2 wins against Florida. And his touchdown to interception ratio is like 26-6 or something. It wasn't bad. But like, a lot of Florida State fans are like, that's Brad Johnson's son. Bring him on in here. I'm like, y'all realize we never had a chance to get Brad Johnson's son? He was going to Miami first. Remember, that's why Mark Richt was getting, like, basically got pushed out when he decided to shun the family.
And that was all he recruited.
To LSU. And I was the only person he recruited. So I'm like, dude, I don't really care about, but what I do care about though is his brother. That's the tight end. That's a pretty big, like nice sized kid. That's a high ranking. I think is he a 5-star or he's a 4-star? He's a high ranked tight end in this whole class. So that makes him worth it. It's
just weird to me. I guess maybe this is a Brian Kelly thing. Maybe he came in and it's not his cup of tea. I don't know. I have no insight on this at all. Although Brad Johnson is a collective guy, I don't know anything about what's going on. But it's weird when you're a starter at a blue blood program that gets an offensive minded coach in to hit the portal. Like that to me is like, if I had one of my guys call me who is a starter at a big program, they're like, hey, I want to go to the portal. I'd be like, what, are you crazy? Like, what do you want? Especially if you're a starter that one good year puts you even in a 3rd or 4th or 5th round grade.
And you're in a situation where you're bringing in a more offensive minded guy.
Yeah.
So like, you didn't get a chance to benefit from Joe Brady and what his impact was. I won't discount or take away from that. But you have better wide receivers. You have talent.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You have a talented enough offensive line. Like, if you're the starter and like there's nobody really in queue to come and take you, even if they go get somebody to transfer.
They have a kid, Garrett Nussmeier. Remember Nussmeier?
Yeah.
He's legit.
I get it.
He's good, but
he's a freshman though. Like, he's not coming in and taking your job day one.
When I saw that on Twitter yesterday, it's like I clicked on the name to make sure it was really Max Johnson. Like, I was like, nah, that's not true. That's not true. That one to me, not because of name value, but that one to me has been the most shocking so far.
Yeah, I only hear about it because that's like all the
Florida State
chatter. Like, it's just so annoying. It was the kid Miller from Ohio State. Like, then it was Spencer Rattler. And I'm like, guys, we're not getting Spencer Rattler.
We haven't talked about Quinn Ewers.
That's the kid, the Ohio State kid that's going to probably Texas.
So he skipped his senior year of high school.
So they got another kid doing that at Ohio State now.
Yeah, so he skipped his senior year of high school to cash in name, image, likeness, and to go early to Ohio State. He was arguably one of the top recruits would be this class. And he's already in the portal. I don't know, man. That just seems like that seems weird to me. Like, I don't know. I'm all for these guys.
He's from Texas, right?
Yeah, but I'm all for these guys like having that ability to move. But that one just seems weird.
If he wasn't any good, he wouldn't be able to move. I'm not.
No, I mean, I think
ethically you probably shouldn't have done it.
Well,
but I mean,
should there not be like a 1-year rule? Should there not be like you have to be somewhere for a year?
I think they should. I think it's
you took up a class spot.
2 things. Well, actually, one thing is already in play. You can only transfer once.
Right.
You should have to complete your NLI, or you got to go JUCO.
Yeah.
Because right now you can legit leave. You could always transfer. It's just never been that the lateral move. But I think the bigger problem was going to really kind of come out of this, and with NLI, you're able to have some sort of representation.
NIL.
That's what my bad.
Not NLI is a thing too. Yeah.
You're able to have some representation. Like you can't be. It's not an agent, but it's like a.
You have a marketing.
It's your marketing agent, right. But still, there's agents who are literally, quote unquote, only negotiating the marketing side with the hopes that they'll be whatever. It's like baseball. Baseball has quote unquote advisors.
Yeah.
Well, like you gotta recruit a kid for 4 years, or now this is probably it. I don't care how good the quarterback is. Statistics say in 4 years we won't remember what this kid's name is. Not suggesting that for him, but
he's a good player.
Why not go get, if Ohio State, you're able to skim 100,000 from Ohio State, and now Texas is asking you to come back home for 500 or whatever the case may be. Make as much money as you can.
We've seen this before. We just haven't seen it like this. There's a lot of times where kids early enroll in January and leave after the spring.
Hmm? Typically, never after a coach gets like a.
No, I mean I can think of like the 5-star corner at USC was at Florida.
Oh yeah, you know, there was a lot of that was some first year, and there was a lot of stuff that happened. Yeah,
and then but we've never seen a kid skip high school,
right?
And literally transfer before his high school season would have even been over.
We haven't.
That's wild.
So I go back to when I came out, 2002. Early enrolling wasn't the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Wembley, Lorenzo Booker both did that in my class at Florida State. They had been there since January. And I thought that was odd. Cam's home situation led him to it being the best thing for him. And Lorenzo, I don't know why Lorenzo came early. Lorenzo just decided to come early.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became, like I say 10 years ago, it became a little bit more, but it was like you had to be really smart. Like, and kids were like doing this. It wasn't just a strategy to be able to have 2 more years when you were done. It was like, all right, I can go get a master's when I'm done.
Yep.
Then it became the grad transfer thing, where guys could leave after 3 and still have 2 years left to play, sometimes 3 to play 2, because they came in early with credits. To where now, not suggesting that some of these young men aren't scholars. They are student athletes. The caliber of kid that's early enrolling isn't like the kid that was early enrolling when I was coming out. Everybody's getting a chance to do it. So now it's just part of, and if you don't do it now, the odds of you playing early
knock against you.
Yeah, like I played as I still don't know how I played as a true freshman, but like if you don't play in your first 2 to 3 years at some of these schools, I'm here to tell you, like you're either gonna get pushed out or it's probably time for you to leave.
Well, and like parents, if you're listening to this, that we're not saying. We're not telling you that because you have dreams of your kid playing college football that your kid should graduate high school early.
No,
your kid's got to be a phenom, a legit phenom. Otherwise, you're just taking the last semester of his senior year away from him, and he's going to sit at home and go to community college.
Something you told me, announce this too real quick, which is another reason why kids leave. Lebby, Jeff Lebby is now officially finalized the offensive coordinator at the University of Oklahoma, leaving Ole Miss.
Watch some movement there.
$2 million.
Watch some movement there.
Wow.
It's going to be – that one has been in the works since last Friday. There's been a lot around that. There's been a whole lot around that. That's going to be interesting. Everything around that. Just pay attention. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So anyway, the early enrollee thing and the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff, college football as we know it it doesn't exist. Like it's a new. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. It's just different. I'll tell you this. Like, you know me, I've never liked the recruiting end of my job. I absolutely despise it right now. I've never spent more time on the phone with college coaches than I am now, but the tables have turned. Now it's like the college coaches are on. It used to be I would get a call, I would post something, or I could call and I'd have a college coach go, okay, what you got to say? I'd shoot them film, we'd get an offer. Bam, 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 done. Man, it ain't like that at all anymore. Now it's phone rings. Who you got in the portal? Who you know that may hit the portal? I don't know, coach. Then I have to flip it to 2022s. Right? Are y'all taking a 22? Yes, we are. Okay, cool. Can I send you a couple? Yes, you can. Send it to them. Love this kid. Want to see him. In the past, that means we're going to offer him. Now that just means we love this kid.
Love the kid. Want to see him.
Want to see him. And it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do? I don't know. We'll figure it out in January because they're wanting to see how many people hit the portal, where the movement is, because this quarterback carousel is not done yet.
Nope.
With all the people in the portal, there's 22 kids that are committed that are not going. They're going to be left dry. They're going to be left hanging
like right
a week
now,
from today.
Again, going back to the Billy Napier situation at the University of Florida, there's a kid that was committed to you all the way up until the week before signing day.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be the only one. Like Levy going to Oklahoma, right? Like maybe he takes somebody from Ole Miss. Maybe there's a kid somewhere else that didn't want to go to Ole Miss maybe he
takes somebody from Miami.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of.
I mean, just hypothetically
speaking. Yeah, because again, you know why? Not just because he might have a great relationship with it. They got a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's which would be hilarious. By the way, I can't wait for the spins on that one. I love spins.
Yeah,
but
okay, where does that leave Ole Miss?
Ole Miss is one. It's good that you have a coach that just signed a new contract. The 10-year deal is the new norm now, and he's an offensive mind, but maybe he goes back to somebody who I don't think he goes back to. That's Kendall? Right around the corner. And Kendall, but I don't see that relationship.
Arkansas. I wouldn't leave Arkansas if I was Kendall.
Nah, one of the rumors is that he may go venture down to Miami.
Ugh.
Would be weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if they don't get Brady.
See, I don't understand these guys, man. Like, you got a good thing, and I have no idea what Kendall's doing.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just saying those are rumors.
Just use as an example. You've got a good thing. You're in a program where the fan base is happy and will be happy for the next 3 years if you just continue to improve. You've got a young quarterback who looks to be the part. You live in an area that you're the only thing in town. Like, you're the only thing in the whole state. You are the pro team, a beautiful area of the country. You're making a lot of money. Why would you leave? Like, okay, so let's say he's making, I don't know what Kendall's making now, but let's say he's making $750 and Miami offers $1 million. Well, I'm from Arkansas. I'm just telling you, $750 in Arkansas is better than $1 million in Florida, especially South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I think these guys move because they're programmed to move. Like, that's what they do, is in their DNA, because a lot of these moves don't make any sense to me. I mean, I don't really think, I got to be honest, like Levy, I mean, that's a significant upgrade in salary. But if you look at Levy and what's happened, I mean, Levy got clumped into that Baylor stuff when he probably shouldn't have.
Right.
He married into the family. He was coaching NAIA ball. He coached Johnny. He was Johnny's offensive coordinator at Southeastern. So he was coaching NAIA ball a couple of years ago. Made his way back up to Ole Miss. I guess there's a loyalty part of me that's just kind of like, okay, if you kind of drug me out of somewhere, I don't know, man. Like, if everything else is equal, I kind of feel like I owe you something.
I mean, yes, but he really had no connection to Lane, did he? Because he was at UCF.
He was at UCF.
And then Lane went to FAU. He was at UCF until Lane went to Ole Miss.
They were always connected somehow. I don't know how, but that family in Lane, because Kendall was rumored to get that job. He actually picked Levy, which, for those who don't know, Kendall Browse and Jeff Levy, are brother-in-laws.
Right.
So that's awkward. Like, it's just a weird thing. I don't know. But the Levy to Oklahoma news isn't a surprise, but it is big news, and there will be some fallout from that from a couple different angles. And if I catch wind that is for sure going to happen, we'll talk about it, because it's not something I have to run from. Not something I have to be. Yeah, I just don't want to report bad information. You want to get to Urban Meyer?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go to Executive, Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa, which I don't know this for sure. It's purely speculation, but I think Herb's been going there. Because my man is not focused on football right now. He's obviously focused on young blondes. He's kind of taking the Petrino route a little bit. Think about it.
If you're gonna go out, is that the worst way to go out? Not very again, character wise, which but
it's not the worst. It's not the worst way, no. But I don't know. Why can't you go out winning and doing that? So that's why he's not going Northeast Florida. Med Spa. If he was going there,
he'd be a winner,
right? He'd be winning football games and still able to frolic around at his age. I don't know how old Herbs is. Can we look that up, Miles? Can you tell me how old Urban Meyer is? I have no clue. Get to Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa. Don't feel like crap. Don't walk around feeling 57. Like crap. 57. Okay. Don't walk around feeling like crap. Feel better. Maybe you need some testosterone. Maybe you just need to recover a little bit better from what you're doing. Maybe you just need to go see a doctor. You can do that at Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa.
Yeah, let me tell you about Doc. I met with Doc yesterday. He's thorough.
He's what?
He's thorough.
Thorough?
It's not a quick visit.
Oh.
Now, maybe after you get to know him a little bit more, but he asks a lot of questions and he wants to run more tests. And he's very candid. He's he was telling me all right, I'm diabetic. You check your blood sugar, man. We got to get that under control. Then he looked at my other stuff holy hell. How in the hell aren't your kidneys, liver, all this stuff is functioning perfect, but yet your A1C is here. This should be, he's I think he called me a mutant.
So you tell me I need to go see him. I need to get this done.
Yeah, you should.
He's going to look at me right now and just be like, bro, calm down. You got to lose a little bit of weight.
He told me that. I just said, how long do I have before I die? And can I extend it a little bit? And he was like, yes, we can always extend it. So that's the most
there's people now talking about living forever.
I don't want to live forever. I see an old lady right now that's in her 90s. And she's cool. She's great. She's pleasant. But I know she's seen a lot of different things. And at this point, she just wants anarchy. So, I don't want to get to that point where I'm I want the world to burn because I know I'm on my way out.
What if you could live forever, now?
And the stuff doesn't change?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't.
That's long because you have to deal with people. The one thing that stinks about vampires is you have to stick around to see people that you like die. Or what if you're broke? Or just good enough.
Well, the odds are you're living long enough. If you live forever, you're going to see terrible things. Terrible things are going to happen to you. When people say you live for, you still go get hit by a bus and die. It's just they're talking about being able to stop the aging process.
Yeah, I don't want to.
If you say, hey, you can't age, well, you're still going to die because at some point, you're going to get shot. You know what I mean? If it's an infinite amount of time, or you're going to get in a car accident, or something is going to happen, COVID.
Okay.
Something along those lines. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about it. But go to Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa if you just want to live better now, especially if you're having issues in the bedroom. They can get you taken care of right away, right there, off of St Johns Bluff. Herbs, man. Talking about the Jags is depressing. Watching the Jags is depressing. Living in Jacksonville right now because of the Jags is depressing. Everything else in Jacksonville's dope, but the Jags are not helping the image of the city. Usually an NFL team improves the city's image. For those of you listening who don't live in Jacksonville is amazing. I don't want to live anywhere else. But because of how bad the Jags suck, y'all all think we're Cleveland now. You know what I mean? It's the jokes are made about Jacksonville that aren't even remotely true just because the Jags are terrible.
Right.
And because there was a Super Bowl that now is 17 years ago.
Yeah, the city's
that was here.
The city doesn't even look the same as it did 2 years ago.
No.
Let alone 17 years ago.
Right. And so when Urban was hired, I was one that was like, oh, this is changing now. This shit's we're on it now. Because I thought absolute worst case scenario, what Urban Meyer was going to do is he was going to bring energy and organization
and Lot J
and accountability. Lot J, yeah, accountability. But all the things he had done at the other stops.
Right. And he didn't do any of that, nor did he bring Lot J.
He didn't do,
like, it's just all his fault.
All of it's worse. There is no accountability. Every week he gets up and he's like, well, I don't micromanage this. Well, why the hell not?
He talks out of both sides of his mouth. I don't micromanage, and I don't know what's going on with the running backs. But then when asked about the wide receiver, I can't think of his name, that probably wouldn't make any other NFL franchise, but still playing here. I guess he fumbled it or something like, or didn't catch the ball. He's like, if it were up to me, he's like, no, he said not if it were up to me. He's like, I almost went down there and snatched him out the game myself. That was a quote from that Jordan DeLugo, sorry if I said your name wrong, but Jordan tweeted out from his presser. And then immediately under it, well, we thought you didn't get involved. Like, you won't get involved with the running backs, but you'll get involved with the receivers. It's just a lot of just passing the buck and then doing one of the worst things you could do to me, right? And I don't know about everybody, but for me, is I'm specific about what I want. So, like, if I tell you I like peach cobbler, I would like to eat some peach cobbler tonight. Now, if you tell me I can't give it to you because, James, you're diabetic, I'm cool with that. That's fine. But don't bring me.
I was going to say, we just got done talking about
I'm just using this example. Don't bring me yellow cake with chocolate icing and then tell me and then act like I should be okay with it.
Right.
You asked me what I wanted. I legit told you what I wanted, and you gave me what you felt I should want. Why didn't you just bring that to me? I bring this up to say, we know James Robinson should be playing. You know James Robinson should be. He's peach cobbler.
In this? Okay.
He's peach cobbler in this.
Okay.
Instead of just playing the man, you're showing highlight clips of what he did in a game to try to make him feel good. Like, you're trying to boost his self-esteem instead of just bringing him the damn peach cobbler they asked for. You're giving him yellow cake.
Is Carlos Hyde yellow cake?
Definitely. No, he's not yellow cake.
What is he?
He's fruit cake.
Oh.
Not during Christmas.
Oh.
He's fruit cake in July.
By the way, red velvet cake's disgusting.
Oh, good night. What the hell is wrong with you?
It is.
Dude, you just had some terrible ass red velvet cake. You probably got the one that tastes like chocolate cake with red.
I don't know. I had it one time and I was like,
no, bro. You can't just We gotta get you some good red velvet cake. I'm not gonna force you to eat it.
I'll try it.
Because now when I give you some good red velvet cake, in your mind you have set this. But I feel bad that somebody your first experience with red velvet cake was trash ass red velvet cake.
I thought I was gonna get introduced like you did to gelato.
Oh man,
and I was like,
I'm still excited. That first. Whew,
terrible.
Your first time with gelato was amazing.
Cream corn.
But yeah, cream corn. All this white people stuff. This
is red velvet. Wait, red velvet
is very black.
Is it?
Very black.
Oh.
Let me pause that because I know these people. We're gonna clip this and people are gonna be like, well, I'm white and I eat red velvet cake. No shit. A lot of white people eat a lot of stuff that black people are known for. I'll say it's more southern than it is anything else. But I've never
where I'm going though is like, should I only have red velvet cake made by?
I would recommend, but yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And
maybe that's where I went wrong.
Ask questions about how their cake is made because some people don't have moist cake. Man, they have that dry cake.
I don't want all that. I just want a piece of cake.
No, I'm just saying. No, I mean like some people.
I need to interview you.
Some people think like, yo, is your cake? It's just like brownies. Like, dude, you have like the good moist brownies, or you got that dry ass shit? Because some people enjoy the dry stuff. I don't like dry. Give it to me.
You know where my cake preference lies now? Just nothing but cakes.
I don't like those.
Really?
Yeah, I just
you didn't like the ones we brought to the station, like the little.
No. We had them Thanksgiving.
Really?
Now, Killer.
You have the knockoffs. You have the real thing.
No, the real thing. I've actually gone and bought them before.
Really?
Before. Now, everybody else in the family likes them. My 3-year-old likes it because he thinks they're cupcakes. But I just I think part of it is I'm looking at this little ass piece. I don't want a cupcake.
Well, you can buy the bigger one.
Okay, all right. Maybe they just gave me the small one, and I'm just like, nah.
We could have all of this for like the Christmas edition show.
Yeah, just things that one day we should do. I think a spinoff of like just things that it couldn't be you because you're not white enough. I need somebody really white.
What?
Like you're like I don't know what the hell. Like people are like not Geechee, but like half Cajun.
Oh,
half
I got
this,
you. I got you.
I need like a Hallmark white person, and like them bring me like quiche or something that I expect, like that you would not expect. No, I don't want it. Hey, James, this is delicious. This is what my people eat. You should try this. And I want to be educated, and I want to educate others. I kind of like if a Spanish person brings me a good Spanish dish like that they love, that you're going to like.
And I just don't like how you associate just quiche with white people. I don't know a white person that eats it.
That's the only, I don't know, man. I've never seen black. I've heard this thing before. I really don't know what quiche is.
I don't either.
Okay, well,
is it a food?
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
How do you spell it? K or Q?
I think it's a Q. It's got to be a Q, right?
I don't know.
K would be so harsh. Anyways, the point going back to all of this is that, damn it, just play James Robinson. Stop all this mental mind game stuff. It's really simple. Just play the man. 8 carries. He needs 8 more carries than whatever you're feeling like giving Carlos Hyde. Whatever Carlos Hyde has done for you, the person he killed that you said, like, in his contract, he's guaranteed 10 carries. Give James Robinson double that. I'm okay with not throwing the ball with Trevor as much because he ain't got nobody to throw to anyway.
Oh, jeez.
Run the wing T, speed option. I don't care. Like, do something, but get James Robinson involved in the game. He's not. Are they
going to ruin Trevor?
They're going to ruin it. Like, I got news for you people. Go ahead, make it up in your mind. Trevor out of here, bro. Trevor's not signing a second contract. He's going to say all the right things, keep making these corny ass Subway commercials and different things like that. But when he gets his chance to bounce, deuces.
You think already?
I think so already, man. It's just, there's nothing here for him.
They ain't going to let him walk that easy. I can tell you that. They'll franchise the tar out of him.
Probably. Or whatever coach is here. If it's Urban, he probably just said,
it ain't gonna be Urban. It ain't gonna be Urban.
I'm out of here, man.
Like, do we think Urban even wants to be here? Did you find quiche? Yeah, what does it look like? What does it look like? Let me just see the picture.
It's egg pie.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like a mess. Why is it? Yeah.
That's the best picture they could find.
I'm pretty sure it's got to be better looking quiche out there.
Like, go to Google Images and type it in. I need to see multiple quiche pictures. Does Urban want to be here?
No, but I said that from.
That's all quiche, dude. That's disgusting. Yeah. So you think Urban's out?
Yeah, I think he's trying to find a way to, like, just end me.
Can I tell you what I thought the other day is? Urban's got a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
He bought a nice house, but he didn't buy what he could buy. I want my coach, my NFL coach,
like the wide receiver coach.
He's terrible.
No. Yes. I'm saying he has the house.
Right. I want my head coach to come into town and go, all right, I'm spending whatever because this is where I'm going to be. I feel like Urban. Don't get me wrong. Like, his house is nice. It's in a great neighborhood, but it's like a tenth of what I expected him to go.
It's just okay.
Right.
It's
like what I would buy if I was going to a city, and it's like, I don't want to rent, and it's an easy buy.
Yeah, he's going back to Ohio as soon as this is done.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
We see what he does as soon as he has a break.
I don't know. Maybe it's a situation where they got houses everywhere. I don't know. But he bought a house in Tim Tebow's neighborhood. Didn't he buy?
That's the first mistake.
Didn't he buy Garardo house?
Oh, so he lives in not Queens,
Glen Kearney.
Glen Kearney, yeah. That's okay. Yeah, he ain't trying to be here. I thought Tebow don't live in Ponte Vedra.
No, he lives in Glen Kearney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like, that's a nice neighborhood. Like, if I goals, like, I would love to live in Glen Kearney.
Yeah,
golf course is rarely played, but in great condition. Like, all of it, I love it. But Herbs is a stature that when you walk into a city, like, you should be buying one on the ocean.
You should be buying one where you can't really see your neighbors because you're that guy.
Right. Nobody.
And it's no knock on you, but it's like, door. Yeah, like when I open the door, hey, that's Coach Urban Meyer. Like, no, like, it should be like like
you shouldn't get invites to HOA meetings.
That, like, you shouldn't get HOA letters,
right?
In general,
you should not pay HOA dues if you're making what he's making.
Here's what I want next time to get a coach. I want a guy with balance. But like they're so good because before people are like, well, no, I want a guy solely focused. Think about this. If you go watch movies, and I learned this, and this is actually terrifies me about my youngest son. He's crazy, he's maniacal, but if you put him around plants, it's the only time he's calm.
Plants?
Yes, like he loves gardening. He'll put the dirt in there. He'll water it. He will sit there with his great grandmother, and he will like. Now, when you take him out of a situation with plants, he's hell on wheels.
So he's going to be a weed farmer.
That or a serial killer. When you look back at a lot of these movies, when I think about him, when I first saw him, I thought about The Godfather. And Vito Corleone, very methodical, ruthless, phenomenal businessman. Also, loved his orange grove. That's where he got his peace. He had to reset and clear his mind of all the mayhem that he's caused and all the murders and all the illegal, illicit stuff. So he goes into a garden for peace. I need somebody to go into Middleburg or Palatka. I need you driving. I need to be a little haul because when you're coming to work, you have time to transform.
Okay.
Like Batman. Like Batman.
I don't like where you're going with this.
Batman's Batcave ain't like downtown Manhattan. Like he has to like drive a little bit, and then in that time, like when he's going into the office, he turns from calm, calculated, nice guy to maniacal football coach.
But tell me
on the way back.
Tell me the best coaches in the NFL right now.
Bill Belichick. I think I forgot what his vice is. He's there, but he has something that's an outlet. Young women, because he has a younger.
He's always there though,
right?
Sean McVay.
Now, Sean McVay is young, and I think that's going to wear on him in a little bit. But I don't know. Okay, fine.
Because what you just described was Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen has what?
He rides horses or something? He's into like the office whenever he wants to.
No, I don't want that. No, it's still 6 a.m. guy. It's just
I need him to have a drive.
I just need him to have a drive. Something that resets them and refreshes them so that when they come into the office, they're not burnt out from just being one thing all the time. I think Urban, and you people won't let Urban be who he is. Now, if Urban was just chasing young girls, that would be his reset. But he can't do that because he has to be this moral compass that we know he has none of. Let him raise hell like he needs to be a good coach, or get this man a garden or some yard. Get him away from people is what I'm saying. Give him people or get him away from people.
What would be a productive hobby for Urban Meyer? Like if you were advising Herbs, because he's 57. So
he's a fitness freak.
Huh?
I thought he was just to ride his bike and do all that kind of stuff and be like run every, like they would talk about how
he did
when he was at Florida, they'll talk about him on the treadmill.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe not. I don't know. I thought that's what I heard.
I mean, I would. Okay.
And then I was going to go mix in a little bit of the Billy Gonzalez thing. Maybe get him into sparring.
I need him away from fitness because once you show this is terrible, and people are going to comment on this. I know that, but once you show that you are out here like going after mid-20s blondes, most mid-20s, I question your fitness reasons. I don't think you're working out for your health. I don't think you're working out because it makes you feel better. I think you're working out to try to stay young, not to stay healthy, but to try to keep that pool a little bit younger, because if you let yourself go a little bit, then it goes from 25-year-old blonde to 40-year-old blonde. So what I would say is we need Urban to focus on other things that just take his mind completely away from anything competition.
Does he like fishing
related? Fishing would be okay one. That would be a good one. That yeah.
Because if he goes fishing right now, we could just lose him at sea.
What if he has heart problems in a boat?
Perfect.
Jeez.
I mean, go
Herbs, if you're listening, don't go fishing with James. James, why are you bringing this center block fishing?
We just
golly.
Just an extra anchor. That's all. That's all.
Here, let me tie this around your ankle just to keep you safe, Herbs. We don't want you falling out the boat. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think. I mean, there's one part of me that's like, okay, he obviously doesn't want to be here, but then there's another part of me that still goes back to, man, this is Urban Meyer. Like this dude has won everywhere. This dude has books and podcasts that like are legit, and this dude doesn't need any more of a legacy. If he didn't want to do this, he didn't have to do this. And when he did this, he negotiated this performance center and all this stuff that's going to take 2-3 years to do. If he didn't have intentions of being here, I don't think he would have done that.
I think he did not, they say, measure twice, cut once. I think,
did your same grandpa said he only chews something once?
No, that's just, he's never, Big Daddy never said that.
Okay.
But he did say when he chews cabbage, he doesn't chew it twice.
Okay.
But I think it was a challenge. It was an opportunity to be considered not one of the best college coaches, because Saban's kicked that ball so far down that he can't even.
Right.
Even if he would have took the SC job, the amount of years he would have needed to coach to be able to even get close to him in his championships, it would just taken too much out of him. But if you can come and you can get to the playoffs if you could be Pete Carroll, and you would go down as arguably one of the best coaches in football history, because not only did you do it at multiple stops in college, you did it in the pros.
Who's done it beyond to the level of Jimmy Johnson? Anybody? In both?
No, nobody. Pete Carroll would be the closest,
and they're really not even close when you think about it.
No, like because Jimmy got multiple at Miami,
Super Bowl rings, and multiple natties,
and would have, and really, they stole that last Super Bowl from him. No, because he didn't win anything at Oklahoma when he was there. The coach,
Barry Switzer.
Barry Switzer, and no knock on Barry. You got a Super Bowl, you got it. But
right.
Like we all know, Jimmy.
I was just trying to think because Urban's got what, 3 natties?
Yes, 3 natties in
a ridiculous winning percentage.
But just if he would have come to Jacksonville, it's like there's only one other place he could have went that would have made it better, the story better, and that's Cleveland. Now, he probably would have been treated like a rock star, but that was already taken. Jacksonville has had a blip, but has been running to the ground for the most part. So now you got this guy that comes in, resurrects it, gives it hope. I think the problem, like I heard somebody say that Urban listened to everybody and said that, when they say you don't have any NFL experience, surround yourself with NFL guys. And I think that's not true. I think there are some NFL guys there, but I think the problem is that he's trying to run this like he ran college and didn't surround himself with the best, which is kind of opposite of what I would think somebody as secure as he would do.
Well, he's always surrounded himself well.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, point, I want the best. Like, if I'm Urban Meyer and I'm taking this job, and I know, and I also don't think he took this job thinking I'm going to be here for 10 years. He took this job with a 5-year window. I'm going to, and I doubt this would have happened, but I'm going to go to Airbnb. I'm going to go to Joe Brady. I'm going to go to the guys who everybody's saying is the best. I'm going to pick their brains, and I have an owner who is the best type of owner that you're going to be. I know we talk a lot about Shad Khan, but as an employee of a pro franchise, all he asks you to do is win. And he has an open checkbook for you to win.
You don't have to win now.
Yeah, I would have gone and said, I'm going to make you turn me down to come here. And you're going to be the head coach of the offense, be the head coach of the defense. And my job is to be the head coach of you. And that's what made him great in college. And it's not working on the NFL side because he's not holding anybody accountable.
Well, but the problem is he's not holding himself accountable either, and I think that's where he's starting to lose me a little bit. And I'm a big Urban fan. But you think about since the very first day he got here, dude, he's been screwing up with what's his name, Chris Doyle. We both said we didn't have a problem. Like, whatever. Like, I mean, if the players would have gotten behind it, then
I wouldn't.
We don't have to work for him,
right?
But you got to know better than to make that hire. Like that's not a great. In the time that we were in, the time that we're in now, that's not smart.
In a grand scheme of things, Chris, one, I don't care who you are, from a guy who's in that, who was in that field, who still dabbles in it, it's probably one of the best.
Yeah, strength and conditioning.
Like it's not. I don't care. Like, again, I'm gonna be honest with you. If he opened up a performance center in Jacksonville, and my son was an elite prospect, his ass is going to train with Chris Doyle. Now, if he said something crazy, I'll probably punch him, but I'm still going to keep my son in his program because he's good. I don't have pro mindset. I don't have to like you to work with you. I have to know that you're going to do your job to work with you. That being said, there were about 3 or 4 other guys who were just a step below that he could have hired. That wouldn't have got you.
All this stuff starts adding up, right? You do that, and then you've got what happened in Cincinnati or in Ohio of him not returning with the team and staying there and grabbing ass. You got all this stuff, and now just the press conferences are weird. I'm off the train. I got to be honest. 2 weeks ago, even I was like, all right, give the man some time because my expectations weren't that they were going to be a playoff team. And I know what's, the lack of talent, but now it's I know these guys. I saw them in the offseason. I worked with a lot of them in the offseason. They're not getting the most out of what they have even. Are they the most talented team? No. Do they have more talent than what they're showing? Yes. Absolutely. Specifically at receiver. Receiver position should not be this bad.
Pete Prisco, and I'm not saying this to call him out or anything, because it's a valid point. When you watch it on film, we don't have fast receivers. We don't have guys who, and he's right. We aren't getting any separation at the receiver position. That being said, Laviska Shenault is not a slow human being at all.
He's twitchy enough. You should be able to use him.
Right. Even if a guy runs a 4.6, right? That's a 40. That's only beneficials on goals.
4.6 receivers there are right now.
That's what I'm saying. Cokehead, who's the wide receiver who was here? Not
Blackman.
Yeah, Blackman was he was actually
Matt Jones is 4.3.
Yeah, 4.3. And he couldn't really get separation.
With the junk hanging
out.
But
Blackman was a 4.5 guy, but ran routes so damn crisp, and he was so explosive. That's why I always tell people the most important thing is really they should do your 10 and your 20. 20 for a wide receiver, 10, 20, and 40 for a wide receiver is important. Running back, only 10 and 20. But if your 10 is sub 1.5, you're an explosive human being. If you're
get open.
If your 20 is 2.5 or better, you're an explosive human being. The problem is, I don't think it's that we lack explosive human beings. We lack competence in route concepts and guys who are in not just route concepts and play development. Madden shows people that anytime I push X, I should be able to score a play. Real life, ESPN has made us believe that football is played in 30-second highlights. The reality is, to get to those 10 highlights that you may see, it takes some plays a season's worth of plays. But in a game, you got to run. You want play action to work. If you're a Jacksonville Jaguar, you have to run the ball for play action to work. You can't run a play action off the counter if you ain't ran counter. You can't run counter if you ain't ran stretch. It's common. It's A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Well, to your point, it's that 1st and 10 incompletion that would have gotten you to 2nd and 6 is such a big deal.
Right.
Such a big deal. And we've seen that so many times of they're in 2nd and 10. Now they're in 3rd and 8 where they should have gone 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2, first down. It's it's the little things like that they can't seem to grasp or they can't seem to execute. And it's early in the season, you can stomach it with the new staff, but this deep into a season, there is zero excuses for it, especially from a coach who's supposed to be a perfectionist, and especially from an OC who's done this before at the NFL level. It makes zero sense whatsoever to me, and it's embarrassing. Let's get to Green Acres. GreenAcresSporting.com is where you need to go. If you're still looking for Christmas gifts, we're telling you right now, you got the man in your life that you say he's hard to buy for. He's really not. He's probably, you live in Jacksonville, he's probably into guns, fishing, needs some ammo,
knife,
some boots. So, Green Acres. Go to GreenAcresSporting.com. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go to one of these malls, well, in general right now, but you don't want to go to one of these malls where you're going to be around 10,000 other people. Go to Green Acres. Tell them the Sports Den sent you. Get him everything he wants right there. Just be different. Like think about how he's gonna feel when you hand him a Green Acres gift card and he's like, yo, you heard that from my favorite show, and you drove your ass all the way out to Normandy and you hooked me up. Ladies, you're set. He may return the favor to you by going to Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa.
They're giving you the gift of him.
That's right. That's right. Give him a gun, he'll give you a boner.
The barbecue spot.
I mean, that should be.
Yeah. That's actually, yeah.
Give him a gun, he'll give you a shot.
Let's shoot your club up. That barbecue spot is legit, though.
Is it?
Yeah, I went again.
Is it open on Sundays? Did you find out?
No, I didn't find out if it was open on Sundays, but it was. I had to go. I went shooting yesterday. I just had to go by. Pump shotgun, I like that pump shotgun for $179 more than I like the $299 one.
Really?
And it has a that one, the other one. The reason why is because I shot a cooler. I didn't shoot the $299 version. Like the shotgun is, but it had a scope.
Okay.
So I could aim and it was real easy. This one comes in with like a built-in scope. So basically, if you line up the orange dot on that pump shotty,
all right.
Even bird, I didn't know bird shot even 35 feet away. If I hit you dead center a couple times, there'll be a hole through a person.
Well, I mean,
it's not very. It went through the wood.
Oh,
yeah. I hit it after 2 shots. Same place. The thing was powerful. So awesome. Also, kids, wear your protective headsets when you shoot a Derringer. It's very tiny, but boy is it loud. So just things I learned.
Do you have a 8 o'clock?
Shoot, you had an urban there.
I know. I thought about that halfway through talking about urban.
Pretty good, pretty solid 8 o'clock.
We kind of just ruined the Green Acres. And I've already talked about recruiting, and
I have some some advice that I need as a father.
You need, or you're going to give?
No, I can use people's opinions.
Oh, here we go. Y'all get ready,
because I really don't see. My problem is the things.
Why is your kid growing weed plants in your backyard? Or?
No, I don't see anything wrong with that. I see that as entrepreneurial. And,
I agree.
And trying to help the environment.
Okay.
But my oldest son is at this age now where he's pushing buttons and envelopes, trying to see what he can get away with. Things like, dad, like with me as dad, can I play Call of Duty? I'm like, why do you? I don't want to hear the nightmares of fake people dying or whatever. Play that Fortnite stuff. He hits me with that.
James, like, shut up, kid. I'm putting together this Green Acres video.
Right. That part. But this is why I don't have a problem with. So you're gonna love this, because if anybody who follows the show would know where I'm getting at. So everybody shares the Netflix, the Hulu accounts, and blah blah blah, Disney Plus, whatever. You're a fool if you're paying for these individually. It's a family affair. He goes and he always changes the pictures and the names of my mom, my sister, everybody else. So he puts pictures up and he goes and he changes everybody's. And his is D's nuts.
Remind people how old he is.
He's 8. So I also had to comment. I had a conversation like because some of he likes NBA YoungBoy. I don't know.
He's
a lot of these.
By the way, NBA YoungBoy's terrible. I'm just saying,
like, but some of these things, like when you're listening to them, you don't. I might listen to some of these songs by myself, but then when you're listening to it, and then as a child that you're responsible for, it's like, oh, it's a little bit. So I'm like, do you think that this? Then I'm thinking like, well, I don't want to have the same conversation my mom had with me. I don't know. I think I might have been a little bit older before I really got into like asking my mom about if I could play these songs.
Okay.
Like, I just like, I want to be the cool dad, but I also want them to know that like, hey, you don't live in that neighborhood. Like, you don't have those kind of upbringings. Like, just be careful. But the D's nuts thing, I didn't see a problem with it. Like I had, the only problem I have is why has this joke been around since I was 8 and probably before that? It's a great, and I was like, I made money off of these nuts. Like there's a whole business.
There's people that haven't followed us long enough know what you're talking about. I think you're actually slinging nuts.
That was what I said. There's a company called Randy's Nuts, and we literally had a commercial read for a solid 4 or 5 months.
No, we did not. We never got through a commercial read.
Oh, well,
we started commercial reads,
which made it the greatest commercial. Like it's D's Nuts. Like who doesn't like a good D's Nuts joke? But like they're like, you need to talk to your son. My sister texts everybody in the thread at midnight, like, did Trey make this name and did this, did that? And I'm like, I'm looking at it like I'm looking at the screenshot like
I can see it both
what's
ways.
The problem? Like they're like you
get no advice from me on this one because I can see it both ways.
My mom is like, and I'm like, Mom, now and I had just seen a meme where when you share a crude meme with your mom and she doesn't laugh, the first thing she asks is, how do you know these people? How do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm like, so I don't know. Like, am I wrong for like not really caring?
No, I don't think so.
Because they keep trying to make me have this conversation with my son.
Like
I keep avoiding it.
We are the most like liberal parents ever, and our kids have turned out like perfect. Like I don't mean perfect. Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like we don't.
Well, you have a son that like goes to churches and builds light shows for them.
Right. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And then I got my youngest is like he's 18. Like literally have to worry about him, but. So I'm probably the wrong one to ask on this, but I do have a question on those lines. You're talking about NBA Youngboy.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday we had our first group training, and so I was, working on this playlist, which told me how old I am, because it's really hard to find a playlist without cuss words. And we got middle schoolers in there, and we got parents in there, and so I don't want cuss words. But I noticed something when you go on Apple now, it shows the words. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Like you start playing. Okay, there's a very interesting thing that's happened with this though. So if you play a rap song,
do they block out the word?
Bro, every other word, if it's the F-bomb, spelled out.
Yeah.
Spelled out.
Yeah.
If it's the N-bomb, it is N star, 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 star.
Yeah.
So I thought I grew up in an era where if you rapped it, not me, like it was just part of the song. Now we're blurring that out. Like, how is that?
Like we know
that's weird, right?
You know what's being said, like,
right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. Like if it's not the edited version, they should go ahead and
right.
Like if it's the edited version, I get
none
it.
of it should be in there. If it's the edited version, but like literally, I'm looking at the words and it said effing in.
Mm-hmm.
Effing was all the way spelled out, and then that was the little cartoon thing, and I'm like,
that's funny.
Wow. Like who made that decision? Who's keying in the words at Apple and going, I am not typing this. I'll type the F-bomb, but I'm not typing this.
Now I'm curious because we can take this sound, put it on TikTok.
I'm not saying it. No, we're not.
No, I mean, like, I'm not either, but I'm just like, is it automatic? Is it something they're breaking down our voices?
Is this at the government level that they said?
Is China doing this to people? Like, I don't know. It's a good question. Because they really don't block. Now you got me. I'm going to go to Apple Music and I'm going to play Soul Sonic, Smoking Out the Window, because I want to see if they put, he's like, this. I want to see if they're going to put the BI. The full.
I guarantee you they'll have everything but the last part.
But they'll have the N word they won't say, but they'll say BIT.
Yes.
They'll do all the
and
other
then
parts.
The N word will just be the N with stars.
Why even do that? Why even put why put the N? Just put stars. Like, we should know all this.
Well, I need to know, and also I need to know, are we accounting for the A? Because how many stars? Do they differentiate? Because that's a different number of stars.
Well, if it's rap and there's I don't really know how many ERs are in rap music. It's all A. And if it's a plural, they got to put like a H or an S with it. It's never ER.
But what I'm saying, do you think that the stars match that? The number of stars?
I don't know. I haven't. Now I'm curious. Now I'm going to go.
Stuff you only
I want to watch.
Right
I want to listen to Snoop Dogg, C Murder, and I think Mr. Serv-On's Down for My. because I want to know.
Can we get a report on
I want to know how many times, like, because if that's impressive. Whoever edited that song, if that's it, like, that's a lot. Like, that's a challenge. Like, I want to see, like, the hearts. I want to see. I want to take the Papa John's voicemail message. Do you remember, like, years ago, when he went full racist with the he made the song with the N-word song. Yeah. I want to see if closed caption can go and differentiate.
What if you're deaf and you're just reading lyrics and you don't know?
They want to make sure that the deaf people don't become racist.
Like, you're like, what is this?
How dare you read racist thoughts? So if you're deaf, be like, no.
Just, I mean, you're like, in your head, you're singing something, and in your head it's just in.
I don't know what it is. I'm confused. What is he? Is he just a F and A? Is he something else? Like, now it's so much. Now they have. Oh, jeez.
Anyway, we gotta go. I gotta get to a meeting, but we may not be able to do Friday.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be in Atlanta.
Big time.
We have state championship up there. I'm Tallahassee tomorrow, Atlanta Friday, Tallahassee Saturday, and then South Florida next Thursday.
It's a lot.
It is. We'll see though. We'll see if we can put something together for Friday. I'm not sure what time I'm leaving or anything like that. So stay tuned. We'll let you know. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you then.